Two U.S. Air Force B-52s just staged a mock attack run on Russia's fortress territory in Eastern Europe. The simulated raid on Kaliningrad was practice for a wartime campaign that would aim to stitch up a critical gap in one of NATO's weakest regions. Taking off from the Royal Air Force Base at Fairford on Friday, the B-52s with the call signs Baloo 51 and Baloo 52 flew at 10,000 feet over the Baltic Sea, crossing over the Suwalki Gap between Kaliningrad and Belarus before turning north, passing over Sweden then heading back to the United Kingdom. The flight path allowed the 8-engine bombers effectively to fly a circle around Kaliningrad, a Russian exclave on the Baltic between Poland and Lithuania. Italian Air Force Typhoon fighters formed up on the B-52s while the bombers were over Latvia. Kaliningrad practically bristles with S-300 and S-400 air defense missiles, Oniks anti-ship missiles and Iskander surface-to-surface missiles. It's a Russian thorn in NATO's flank. Which explains why the Air Force would practice attacking it. The two B-52s that circled Kaliningrad on Friday were from a contingent of 6 bombers that deployed from Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota to RAF Fairford on August 22. The bombers have stayed busy. On August 28 they along with B-52s in the United States flew over all 30 NATO countries in a single day. The Fairford bombers flew south to Tunisia and formed up with some of the most obscure fighters in Africa. The B-52s also on no fewer than 3 occasions probed Russian defenses around the Black Sea, provoking the Russians into mobilizing so that NATO spy planes could monitor the response. On Wednesday, one of the bombers reportedly made a mock attack run along the Black Sea near the Ukrainian city of Odessa. No fewer than 5 NATO surveillance aircraft, 3 RC-135s, a Sentinel and a P-8, were nearby at the time. It's unclear whether any RC-135s, Sentinels or P-8s were in the air near Kaliningrad as Baloo 51 and Baloo 52, but it's a safe bet NATO made some effort to collect Russian signals coming from the exclave. Kaliningrad matters. Missiles and warplanes in the exclave can reach deep into Europe. Kaliningrad is also the northern anchor of the Suwalki Gap, the heavily forested 40-mile border between Poland and Lithuania. Belarus, a strong Russian ally, anchors the south. Moscow has been strengthening its grasp on Belarus since the country's rigged presidential election in August led to mass protests. Russian President Vladimir Putin has leaned on embattled Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko to sign an accord essentially unifying Russia and Belarus. The accord could give Russian troops even greater access to Belarus and the Suwalki Gap. If Russia wanted to cut off NATO's small, weak Baltic members from the rest of the alliance, it could do so by closing the Suwalki Gap.